Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. And today, as promised, here we are with the Vankyo 620, which is the projector that we assembled a few days ago. And for those of you that missed the video, I will leave a link down below so that you can see the whole assembly, what I did use and what I didn't, so that you can learn with my mistakes as well. And at the end of the day, we can share some experiences, some questions and doubts, and have a nice and great experience down below, changing comments with the community and so on and so forth. Now, as I was saying, today we are going to focus on the projector itself. This is the Vankyo 620. I will leave a link down below so that you guys can check out the price. One spoiler alert that I can mention is that for all the projectors that I've tested so far, this is in terms of price for the performance or the quality that we can get out of it. It's one of the best that I've used, and it has some really interesting features. Now, when I did assembly, I had 2.3 meters, but I did test out the full range that we can get with this, which is roughly 200 inches, and great results, but I'll talk about that in just a few moments. Now, starting with the unboxing experience, one of the things that I really enjoyed is that once we open the package, we'll find a really nice transportation bag. And some bags have awful materials, but this one is actually really nice. Now, besides the bag, we also have, of course, the projector itself, and also a accessories box that includes a quick user guide, some paperwork, the remote control that I've got right over here, and I'll talk about it in just a few moments. It also has a few cables, like the power cable, VGA, HDMI, and RCA cable, and also a few screws. Now, in terms of the assembly, depends on how you are going to use it. Are you going to use it on a table, on a classroom, on a home cinema, and on the ceiling? It really depends. I did share my experience with you guys. Once again, for those that didn't watch it, I will leave a link down below. In my particular case, it's for the home cinema, and it's mounted on the ceiling using a universal adapter. Now, by the way, when we remove the 4 rubber feet, it will show us 4 screws that will allow us to use any projector mount, universal projector mount. I will try to leave the link down below for the one that I used. It was a cheap one, roughly 10 to 15 euros or so, but there is a wide range of mounts. Now, in terms of the projector itself, it's made out of a nice plastic. It is a plastic that will get our fingerprints all over, especially on the piano black at the front, but I do believe, at least in my opinion, that this is a device that we will not be messing around much, especially if it's on the ceiling, because we will have the remote to operate. We also have the buttons right here on the top, which basically we do the same that the remote does. We have a input button, menu, and then the directional buttons and selection button, also on off. And on the remote control we have the same, but we also have volume up and down, because this projector has sound. I will talk about that in just a few moments. Also, we have 2 wheels right over here. One is for the focus and the other one is for the keystone, so that we can level depending on the direction that the projector is. And then at the back we have the connectivity, 2 HDMIs, 2 USB connections, 1 VGA, AV out, a component or RCA input, and then the power input. We also have a dust filter down below, so that we can clean it up in case we have a dusty environment, so it's a nice touch. In terms of resolution, it goes up to 1080, and one of the things that I'm really happy is not only with the resolution but with the quality that we get, even when we push the projector away from the wall, from the projector screen, in case we are using, because it will not lose the quality, at least until the distance that I did measure. Now, when I did my assembly, I was limited, and I'm still limited. My space is only 2.3 or 2 meters and 30 centimeters from the projector to the projector screen, so I'm getting roughly a 70-inch display right over there with a great resolution. But for the following days, I've been using a full wall, and I'm talking about a wall of 3.5 meters in length and roughly 2 meters and 20 from bottom to top. So as you can see by some images, I can feel the whole image, and I was not able to get the 200 inches. It was roughly 190 inches or so, because I was with 6.5 meters away from the wall, which was the maximum that I could get on my space right over here. But as you can see, it's a huge image, and in terms of resolution, it didn't miss out. It didn't lose quality, at least that I can see with my eyes. Now, in terms of the power, or in terms of illumination power on this projector, it has 5500 lux. And one thing that I have to mention for some of the questions that you guys sometimes ask in terms of projector is it doesn't do any miracles. It has a great image, but especially when we are in a dark environment. And sometimes people ask me, hey Robert, I want to put one of these on my backyard to watch during the daytime, and my answer is don't get a projector, get a TV. And even so, you will not have the best image because there is a lot of sunlight. If it's to use during the evening, then I've got no issues at all, and this projector will do a great job. And on a home cinema, what I can show you guys is that I did test it out with 3 levels of light intensity, and although I'm really happy with the results, there are no miracles. If it's a completely dark environment, then that will be the best experience. If we have a little bit of light, we will still have a great experience, but we will lose a little bit of that dark and that contrast that we want to watch on movies and so on and so forth. And then pumping up the light a little bit, we will lose more. And at the maximum that I've got on my other living room, what happens is that we get a washed image. So you can imagine if you use it outside, the image will not be as good. And that's the only reason that I usually don't advise projectors to be used on the outside during daytime. Now finally, there is a bonus right over here on this projector, which is it comes with built-in sound. Now the sound, it's not the best that you will find. It's not a home cinema dedicated sound device, it's not a hi-fi, but it's quite acceptable. And if you ask me, hey Robert, it's acceptable for what kind of usage? I would say that for a home cinema setup, you will want more than this. You will get by, but later on you will want more. But I do believe that this is enough for a classroom, which is an environment that I'm really used to as I'm a teacher. And sometimes units like this are just great because I've seen colleagues of mine needing, especially for those language, French, Spanish, English, where they need to push some audio to the students and they have to connect extra speakers and so on and so forth. This is a really great unit for those case scenarios where we have a built-in speaker system that can be used for a classroom of 20-25 students without any issues at all. So not being great, it's quite acceptable, and being a bonus in my opinion. And that is it, guys. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way, and if it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up down below, which I really appreciate. As always, my name is Roberto Jorge, and I'll see you guys on the next one.